our topics, our videos are streamed all over the world on Bluebird TV, fundamentally. And we know why, because the world today has gone beyond narrow spectrum to broader spectrum. So, Professor Usman Musa Olanipekun is your student. Please introduce him and moderate him. We can start. And then I will say, please do the needful by sharing. All things being equal. And he will start moderating Usman, and he has been excused. By 11:30, he will be leaving us for another serious engagement, funeral engagement. I will continue. So be it. Thank you very much. Usman, please. Afford us the needful.
Okay. Thank you, Chief, and members that have joined, and I believe more will join. I welcome you all to this today's edition on Bluebird Television. Bluebirds have been presenting many programs for empowerment of Nigerian farmers, scientists, academicians, and all. And I always say it is a very big addition to poultry industry, and it's a welcome development. Today we have somebody, a very vast in poultry industry, and he's not a new person to this program. He has presented, I think this is the third one he's presenting to us. And in all the presentation, we have learned a lot from him. And today is another day where he's going to share with us his experiences when it comes to point of lay. We all know that point of lay is very critical in poultry industry because for the fear of unknown, many farmers resort to buying point of lay so that they can avoid the mortality during brooding. Want also to fast track the egg production in the industry. So people resort to point of lay. But there are many confusion regarding the point of lay. Some will sell to you 12 weeks bed as a point of lay. Some will sell to you 14 weeks bed as a point of lay. Some will sell you 16 beds, 16 weeks old as a point of lay. So I'm very sure Dr. Yomi today will demystify all those areas where farmers are being cheated and what the farmers will look into. Dr. Yomi is a staff with the Yampi Farms, Nigeria Limited, in Ilomina, far as been here in the past. And he has shared with us his area. So at this point, let me welcome Dr. Yomi Olanipekun to share with us on point of lay in poultry farms. Dr. Yomi, you are welcome. And please, you have enough time to share with us all to know. Please, you are welcome. You can go ahead. Before then, let me welcome our elder here, Professor Lawal Sayidu from Ahmadu Bello University. As the chief has said, he is also, I'm sure we are going to contribute to us during the discussion. And I believe he, as said, next week he will be with us also. So Dr. Yomi, please, you can start.
Good morning, everyone. You are all welcome to another edition of Bluebird TV. Today, I'll be presenting on the point of lay in poultry farming. By way of introduction, point of lay is the term used to describe the young pullets that are approaching the age to start laying eggs. They are important in Nigeria poultry industry because they can provide a quick return on investment. Note that the young layer from day old to the point of lay are called pullets. The time it usually takes good laying breed of chicken to reach point of lay is in between 16 and 20 weeks old. The point of lay chicken are raised within few weeks of life for the purpose of commercial egg production. That is within 5 weeks. When you obtain a good point of lay, it should start dropping. We call it dropping, not actual production, but it should start dropping. Then the farmer will be relieved that yes, these birds will actually lay. Layer chickens are such a special species of hens which need to be raised from when they are a day old. They start laying from 18 to 19 weeks of age. They continue laying eggs till they attain the 72 to their 80 weeks, which previously we used to believe the age of liquidation. However, when birds are producing and they are compensating for what they are consuming, and yet leaving little gain, at times people will still leave them to keep laying. At least when you are having up to 76, 77, even at that age of 80, oftentimes they used to be left alone, be laying until at times they reach 90, 90 something before they are disposed of. They are often categorized as point of cage with age range of 12 to 15 weeks, whereas the common age at which they are sold off as point of lay is 16 weeks. That is in the market. The commonest age we believe the birds are to be bought or to be sold at point of lay is generally believed to be 16 weeks. Note that the point of cage birds we still require the attention of a poultry veterinarian to complete the remaining vaccination programs. Thus, an early purchase enables the hens to adapt to farm conditions and management practice. Of course, adaptability matters. They ought to have adapted to your cage and to all other handling they will pass through as soon as they reach your end. However, it becomes imperative that the chicks are raised under very conducive environment and be properly managed to ensure that they deliver well at designated layer farm. The steps involved in choosing a good quality point of lay. These are the steps when you want to choose very good quality point of lay. You request to know the breed of birds. And of course, there are different breeds of laying chickens. So you request to know the breed of bird. If it meets up with your own desire, you request to know the source of the birds as well. You request for the record of birds from the date of arrival. This gives a clue on all the routine programs that the birds are passed through. Examine the physical appearance of birds, observe their alertness, give proper attention to the flock uniformity. Request to know the health management profile, that is vaccination, medication, and mortality report. Check the body weight at the time of visitation. It is very important. You check the body weight. Request to know the feeding program and feed type. These are all necessities. You will need to know what have been, done on these beds so that at your end, you know where to continue. You know what exactly the feed allocation and the feed type they're being offered, where they are coming from. For instance, the feed type, when they are placed on pelletized feed, you have to, endeavor to continue with that so that whatever you want to present will not be strained to the birds. And of course, you know what the grammage they are allocating, because at certain age of birds, it should be taking certain grammage allocation. So you check the body weight at the time of visitation. If it meets up with the required standard of the breed in question, you go ahead. If it is lesser, but not too less, and you think it's what you can manage, you can go for it. If it is too less, or disparity between the highest body weight and the least body weight is too wide, this is where you opt out. You can't manage what they have not been able to manage efficiently at their end. Being a farmer or a poultry manager, since the choice of point of lay as an option becomes a necessity for a commercial egg producer, it should be noted that raising of day-old chicks to the point of lay should be given an adequate attention. Important tips on raising good quality point of lay. Since, at our gathering here, farmers are with us. By my understanding, colleagues are there, poultry veterinarian, even the investors are not left out. It is important to know how to bring these birds from day old till point of lay, especially if you have done your feasibilities, to know what takes you for this bird to attain the point of lay status. You now discover that buying the point of lay, especially, can be so cumbersome. When you go for point of lay, we should remember that there are middlemen there. You won't be able to talk to the farm manager until you are paid and you are about to pick the birds. Lot of money will have been added, and at the end of the day, what will have been sold to you at maybe 5.3, 5.4, you eventually buy it at around 5.8. You have not added transport fare. So the tips on raising good point of lay will be discussed as well. Number one tip is that you have to be knowledgeable. That's the first thing. Be knowledgeable. That is, you acquire adequate skill. And if you want to employ who will manage your farm, interviewing a poultry manager has gone beyond the level of what is brooding, what's temperature you receive. No. Whatever you have in your farm, make sure you have birds on ground. You take the applicant or the candidate to the farm. Let him enter your pen. How you understand this guy will know what he's doing. He should be able, on getting to the pen, he should be able to start asking questions. What's the age of this bird? The first thing you should ask is, what's the age of this bird? What's the breed of the bird? How many grams of feed are you allocating to the birds? These are the sensitive questions that give you a clue that this guy knows what he's doing. And before he leaves the pen, he should even know that, yes, there are certain problems. Why are they having this problem? This is that. Yes, you're on the right track. And you, as an investor, you should know certain, rudimentary knowledge, especially feed consumption rate per day, per bed, weekly, monthly, even if you are not on ground, so that no one will tell you 1,000 birds will take 22 bags of feed, in a day. No, because you have been, you see, you yourself, you are well groomed. So source for a good quality chicks now. Prepare your pen appropriately. Rest the pen house for 2 weeks before the arrival of the chicks. Adequate rodent control should be in place. Adequate rodent control should be in place, because when you prepare your pen, in the process of resting it, those ones can bring in contaminants. Adequate rodent control, together with strict biosecurity protocol. Do not allow anyone to enter your pen until birds arrives. Good record keeping with reference to mortality, called birds, feed consumption rate, what's our consumption pattern, medication and vaccination, daily temperature record should be taken as well. You now consult your local poultry veterinarian to design a robust vaccination program for the flock, brooding and rearing. So what is brooding? It is the provision of warmth for the chicks in the early part of their life, which makes available an optimum temperature by the application of external heat source. This usually takes place from the day old until the chicks are able to regulate their body temperature efficiently. This usually takes 2 weeks for birds to stabilize and start regulating their own temperature. At that point in time, the warmth you are making provision for, the external heat source you are giving them will have been dropping gradually, at least to suit the need of the bird. Importance of brooding. It provides warmth and comfort for the chicks. It makes the chicks active and enhance feed consumption to promote growth. Of course, when birds are, provided with comfort of their warmth, they will all be active and be feeding. And when they are consuming, as expected, weight gain will be, will be optimum. It enhances the development of important physiologic systems, such as immune system, digestive system, and thermoregulatory system at the early weeks of birth. These are the systems that usually develop first. So when those ones are well developed, when you are introducing vaccine, seroconversion of antigen to antibody is ascertained. Yes. Digestive system, when they are well in place and they are well, actively developed in the process, when they are consuming, they will be converting your feed without issue. So, and all these guarantees flock uniformity, which is our target, because it is this uniformity, that ensures that all birds will drop and start laying about the same time, so that there won't be delay. If you purchase bird, one drops today, and they're already 19, running 20. After another weeks, maybe in another 2 weeks, 21 weeks, you pick another one. That is not uniformity. So brooding environment, right and uniform temperature throughout the pen, which should be less than the body temperature, because the bird feel uncomfortable, drowsiness, and even panting when the temperature is too high. Hence, temperature control is the most critical factor during the brooding. Hint on chicks' behavior during brooding. See, it is important to give ourselves this hint. Why? Because it's not everyone, that are exposed to secure thermometer. But when you learn, you understand the psychology and physiology of birds in the process of, mixing, attending to their needs, participating actively in all the activities, you'll be able to understand this behavior. Yes. If they huddle under or near the source of heat, there is inadequate heat. When they move far away from the source of heat, there is excessive heat. But when they spread evenly and they are busy consuming, drinking, it means there is adequate heat. Now, how do you receive day-old chicks? Welcome your bird with temperature of about 35 degrees Celsius. We tend to decrease as they grow older. Know that it is important to monitor the chick's reaction or behavior and make appropriate adjustment. Provide glucose and electrolyte in drinking water, at least to receive your birds. Another important is relative humidity. The ideal relative humidity to maintain during brooding is between 50 to 65%. High relative humidity may cause wet litter, which results in high ammonia level inside the brooding house and also causing coccidiosis, while low relative humidity causes respiratory problems. The only way to regulate the air movement, which is the relative humidity we are talking about, in the pen house, is to adjust the ventilation of the brooding pen, like raising your curtain so that there will be cross ventilation and the birds will be fine. Another one is illumination. This is the process by which light is made available in the brooding house for birds to see clearly, and this encourages them to eat and drink efficiently, thereby enhancing growth and performance. Give constant supply of heat of 23 to 24 hours for the first 3 days. 4 to 7 days, 24 hours. To another 14 days, 20 hours, 15 to 21 days, 19 hours, and so on. Try to maintain a constant light duration of 10 hours from week 7 old and above. Floor and feeding space. Floor and feeding space. This is the controlling factor for your balls, to attain good uniformity, reasonable percentage of uniformity. When they are allocated adequate spacing required of them, they are bound to perform. Before your balls arrive, is when you make available the space required by them. The amount of floor space required for chicks and pullets
Professor Magaji, off your mic, please. Professor Magaji.
Mute him, mute him. If you see him, mute him.
Okay.
Continue.
Yeah.
Okay, sir. The amount of floor space required for chicks and pullets depends on their age and the state of their development. It is important to provide appropriate space for your balls to be healthy and well adjusted. A factor of is 0.2, foot squat is required per chick on arrival and at first week of life, which will be adjusted by variable of addition or addition of 0.05 to the initial factor of this 0.25 during the subsequent week, so that week 2 space requirement will be 0.25 plus 0.05, making it 0.3 and 0.35 ft squared on the week 3 as well. Illustration, let's take the sample size of 3,000 chicks. Floor spacing for the first week, this 3,000 multiplied by the required foot squat per bed gives you 750. The result so obtained will be divisible by whatsoever the breadth of your pen. If the breadth of your pen is 30, this becomes 750 divided by 30, and this gives you 25 feet length by 30 feet breadth. The space occupied by, it has been explained, of course. So, subsequent week, it becomes 0.3. This 0.3 multiplied by that 3,000 gives you 900. Divisible by 30 gives you 30 feet extension of your partition. It thus could be inferred that the partition will be extended by 5 feet as the required floor spacing for 3,000 birds at week 2. Feeding and drinking space. The feeding space required by birds depend on their age and feeder type. The common tray feeder will be considered for the purpose of proper understanding. 35 beds per tray feeder will be adequate for the first week, while 30 beds per tray feeder will be adequate for the second week, and 25 birds per tray feeder will be adequate for the third week. Drinking space per bed is almost directly proportional to the feeding space, but relatively lower because birds rush out for feeding more aggressively than for drinking. However, when birds are running their week 4, they tend to be more active, and wastage of feed will be noticed due to scratches and spilling of feed off the tray feeder. And this calls for withdrawal of tray feeders with corresponding replacement with plastic or aluminum hanging feeder to minimize wastage due to spilling. You see, on weekly basis, the activities of the chicks or birds will be noticed that it is increasing. However, the tray feeder you introduced earlier on, they will outgrow and outsize it. They will start scratching this feed off the feeder, and it will be wasting. You now believe you are serving so number of bags of feed, where it is not being picked up by the birds. All were not picked up by the bird. Good quantity is going to waste, be mixing with your litter, and this will eventually affect the growth of your bed. At this point, about 15 to 20 balls will be allocated per feeder and are to be adjusted appropriately as they grow and outnumber the initial volume of feeder you introduce. Importance of floor feeding and drinking space. It minimizes stress in birds. When they are adequately spaced out and they have equal access to feeder and drinking, trough, it minimizes stress. It now enhances performance. It promotes their general well-being. You see, if the stress is out of it, the birds will be comfortable. There won't be any disease challenge because stress is a requisite for drop or lowered immunity. Where there is a stressor, steroid will be secreted in the system, and that lowers immunity automatically. From therein, there is no vaccination you introduce, that will be converted because the immunity of the birds are compromised already. So the space matters. It prevents bad behavior such as cannibalism. You keep watch on your beds. When they start pecking, check the space around them, both the drinking, feeding, and even the floor space. Usually, brooding house is usually constructed with just 2-3 coaches of blocks. When they are outnumbering, they are outgrowing the space you have provided. Good number will be patching. They will be patching at the pavement of your pen, indicating that something is wrong, and they will begin to peck. It allows for better air circulation, which reduces moisture level and the risk of respiratory disease due to ammonia overload. Pullet development for optimum production. The overall aim of pullet development is to reach a target body weight with high uniformity. Less than 85% uniformity will cause decrease in egg production, and peak production will be hard to maintain, as they will reach their peak production at different periods, but with uniformity in weight, they will attain peak at the same time, almost at the same time. Important tips for good point of lay development. Number 1 is body weight. Number 2 is nutrition. Number 3, medications for vaccination, management, and body weight management and nutrition of young pullets should be aimed at reaching an optimum body weight, which depends on the bird type. That is, there are standard specifications for the bird weight at a different age, which should be targeted in the course of rearing. Depending on the breed of your bird, I'm about to give an illustration of age against the body weight. And this typical sample I'm giving is Isa Brown that we rear in our own farm. So at first week of life, at the end of week 1, this bird should give you 65 to 68 weeks. 68 grams. At the end of week 2, they should be able to give you 110 to 120 grams. Third week ending, they should give you between 195 to 210 to 210. It's a weight range. It might not be exact, but by the time you find yourself in between these, you should know you are doing well and your birds are performing. By week 4, 285 to 305. Fifth week, 380 to 400. Week 6, 470 to 500, and so on. Since the productivity of laying hen is influenced by the body weight and uniformity at start of lay, the growth has to be controlled from day old. That brings us to that nutrition we talked about, feed and feeding. Pullet chicks will be fed from day old till week 6 with chick starter crumb, and specifying crop because you see, birds, they are selective eater. They want to be picking grains, leaving powdery substance beside. After all, they are animals. They wouldn't know what the importance, what the nutritional component, what they are leaving behind. They wouldn't know. So, crumb form, each time they pick even a crumb, they pick all the nourishment required of them in totality, and that serves them better than leaving, the final particle and be picking Kwasa one. So nutritional requirements specified for the breed of choice. Grower feed type should be introduced gradually while running week 7, especially when target body weight is met. When it is met. But at the end of your week 6, when you check your body weight, you do your test weight, and you are meeting up with the standard, you can start gradual withdrawal of your starter. Starter withdrawal should be done in following order. When you have attained week 6 precisely and you're sure your body weight is intact, your week 6 plus 2 days, it should be that starter, 75% plus 25% grower. That is gradual withdrawal we are talking about, so that it will have been picking it along with the one it's about to drop. After that day 2, week plus 4 days, week 6 plus 4 days, 50-50. 50% starter, 50% grower. You take it for another 2 days till about week 7. grower will have taken reasonable percentage of 75 grams with 25% starter. There's an error here. It should be 25% starter since they are about, dropping, starter feed finally. And at week 8, it becomes 100% grower feed. From week 8 upward, bulls are to be fed with 100% grower, either pellet or mash, till the onset of lay, and thereabout 10 to 15% in lay. The switch from one feed type to another should be gradual for proper adaptability before complete withdrawal of previous one. Feeding, it is the process of presenting the dietary allocation to birds. When age, physiologic status of birds, and environmental conditions are put into consideration, note that quality and quantity of nutrient presentation is based on the aforementioned factors. That is age and some other factors I've mentioned. However, it is generally observed that birds on arrival won't be actively consuming the feed, but improves after stability and adaptability to the new environment. Feed specification for Isa Brown breed. Now, this is an area where, oftentimes farmers get it wrong. The specification of this feed I'm giving you is as per ISA specification. It is recommended that metabolizable energy in their starter should be 2950 kilocal and 20.5% crude protein. People who don't mind this important tip, by the time they get any starter, it is expected that your poultry manager looks into this or formulate appropriately and do proximate analysis to really to be sure of what they are allocating. Because if you are allocating grammage specified and the nutrient content is not being met, you will not meet up with the target body weight. So week 1, considering the kilocal, that metabolizable energy content and the crude protein content of the feed specified by ISA, if it is ISA, first week, you give 12 grams per bed. Second week, 17 grams. Third week, 20 grams. Fourth week, 24 grams. Week 5, 29, 6, 33, 7, 38, and so on. Body weight management now. The control from day old, the control of growth from day old is important parameter that requires proper attention to meet body weight target at week 4. It's essential for a potential layer, and it depends on the following factors: stocking density, brooding conditions, lighting program, feed presentation, as these have been brushed up there. However, to maintain the higher standard line of body weight, the growth will have to be monitored by routine test weighing, flock uniformity assessment, and flock grading when necessary. Rearing program include the following: robust vaccination and prophylactic medication program, big trimming exercise, regular weight monitoring, appropriate feeding with good quality feed type, and adherence to biosecurity rules. These are all important in rearing your birds. Robust vaccination and prophylactic medication. For instance, at a certain point in time, there might be insinuation that birds may come down with something, or you pick 1 or 2 exhibiting the sign already. Before it spreads and becomes a general thing, prophylaxis is advisable. And of course, vaccination by nature is aimed at preventing the invasion of disease, not talk of even spread. So, big trimming, it is often referred to as debeaking. It is a very delicate operation It is to be carried out by a trained personnel with strict guidance. It involves the use of the beaking machine, which comprises of a blade and filament. That filament is the one that eats that, takes off the heat from source and eats the blade. Procedure of beak trimming. Grab the two legs of the board. Place your thumb at the back of the head of the board with your finger in between the upper and lower mandible. Protect the tongue of the board from touching the hot blade. Cut off the sharp edge of the upper beak and touch the lower beak with hot blade for, slight reduction. Ensure there is no bleeding before leaving the board. Importance of beak trimming. It helps to reduce the incidence of pecking. It also helps to reduce feed wastage. It helps balls to have a good grip on feed. This enhances growth, development, and flock uniformity. Age of beak trimming. Day old with the use of infrared at archery level. Day 10 with the use of automatic debeaking machine by choosing the right hole for the beak of the chick between the age of week 8 and 10. Important tips or caution during beak trimming. Avoid debeaking on healthy birds or during vaccine reaction. Add vitamin K to drinking water to prevent hemorrhage. We all know vitamin K is a clotting factor. You check the equipment temperature. You replace the blade with frequency specified by the equipment manufacturer. There are some manufacturers that specifies that after 500 bolts, you should replace the blade. Do not trim with dull blade. Vaccination. Vaccines are biological agents that are antigenic in nature, which could be either the life attenuated or killed and are administered on board to elicit immune response, thereby conferring protection against specific disease, while vaccination is the process by which the vaccines are administered through a designated route to birds for the purpose of antibody production and at certain age of birds. The design of vaccination schedule is done by the local and experienced poultry veterinarian who consider such factors as age of birds, concentration of poultry in an area, and disease prevalence in a particular location. The aforementioned details will help the veterinarian to know the endemicity of a particular disease and what prophylaxis to be instituted. Now, vaccination is important, and this helps in all ramifications to prevent disease invasion. But there are things we need to know while we are vaccinating birds. A number of diseases are age dependent. For instance, gumboro or infectious buzzard disease. Everyone knows that from week 3 and above, they are predisposed, especially if there are stressors. However, designing a vaccination schedule is a sensitive thing, which requires knowledge of a number of parameters to be guided adequately so that robust one will be put in place. Well, what I do at my end in Yamfi Farms, I used to go and obtain my chicks, the parent stock from CHI, and request for the one that are not vaccinated at all, even with Marex, and send to the lab directly for screening. I will request for maternal antibody profile of IBD and that of ND. Whatever it gives me, it is there I will be guided that, by week 2, maternal antibody profile of IBD is waning down, because if the antibody from maternal source is still there, plus live vaccine, it cancels, it will not work. So we'll target when it wanes completely. So such other factor is the concentration of poultry industry in that area, so that you can be prone to challenge, especially airborne during Harmattan when wind blows. And this becomes a necessity to even mention that whoever that is intending to invest in farming should request the engagement of a knowledgeable poultry veterinarian to kickstart and advise them from the level of construction. He will now be in position to give you your pen direction or orientation and the dimension for your targeted capacity. And that will help to save you from your pen being blown off by wind or to prevent blow of agent from one pen to another, because it will have taken into consideration a number of factors to locate your pen appropriately, to avoid all the avoidables from the beginning. Biosecurity. These are the procedural rules that require strict adherence in order to prevent disease outbreak and their spread. This helps flock health and enhancement of growth and development. And of course, we did mention some times ago, while we were discussing elaborately on biosecurity protocol, that this thing requires training, planning, drawing the attention of family, friends, poultry staff, visitors, to know the essence of whatever the rules and regulations you are entrenching to prevent disease invasion. It also involves structural one, like fencing, to prevent entrance of unwanted agent into your location. So, in conclusion, the discussion was tailored to furnish the technocrats and farmers with the tips and guide on identifying a quality point of lay, as well as procedures for raising the chicks from a day old to the point of lay status, and thus avails the generality of people with the right choice for their prospective poultry businesses. Thank you. And you're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Yomi, for very, very insightful presentation. In fact, I would like to say you gave us overdose because you gave us 2 lectures in one.
Yes,
We're expecting to have presentation on choice of point of lay, maybe to break even point. And I think if it is not asking too much, being Oliver Twist, you need to come back around January or thereabout when, because I know during this Christmas, a lot of people will sell their spent layers and they would like to restock around January, February. And here you gave us mostly about rearing day-old chicks from day-old to point of lay. Actually, the focus of your lecture mostly centered on that, rearing bears from day-old chicks to point of lay. And today's seminar, we're expecting to have the choice. What are the things the farmer will look when they are buying a point of lay? How do they manage them to a break-even point? Or that means a point where they can pay for their feed and other services. Well, as I said, you focus mostly on rearing day-old chicks from day-old to the point of lay, which you have done very excellently, and we appreciate that. And I think maybe either in the discussion time, we'll expatiate on what choice of point of lay, what do you choose? Because here is even very confusing, because you are telling us when you are buying your day-old chicks from CHI, which confused me because I know your company produced DOC. And we go and buy from you. And now you are telling us you go to buy from CHI. And even
Yes, it is our parent
CHI,
stock.
No, he's talking
Our
about
parent
the
the
stock.
management of parent stocks are, sorry, doctor, the management of parent stocks is completely different from management of the commercial stock when it comes to that. So that what makes some of us confused that if you are a company producing because
I
I'm
think
sure
they're almost the same.
90% of the people around here, 90% of the people here on this platform, their mind is focused on the commercial stock, not parent stock. And we expect to share us your experience at your company that what are the things one will look at, and how do you give the farmers the good quality DOCs? Thank you, as I said. And as I said also, the quality of feed and all those energy and other things, sometimes we don't have control. I mean, in terms of the quality of feed we purchase from the market, because it's whatever the manufacturers put on that level of the bag is what we believe. And in fact, I have a cause to tell you. Recently, I sent some samples to animal care, and what came out is completely different from what the farmer, I mean, the feed miller indicated on the bags. So that was another issue which will expatiate. And at the point of lay, also look at the other things. At the best, the big, the big at the company or at your own place. And if they are not, what do you do? And the vaccination, what are the vaccination things, vaccination that was conducted at the point of purchase? And also when they arrive to your farm, what do you do? And we look at the weight of the birds. What the farmer will expect to see the weight when the birds arrive at his farm. We know there's loss of weight during transportation. But if you purchase point of lay from your company, say, I just using your company as an example because we are from that industry. What is the required weight we are expecting? And also breed of birds, which type of breed is mostly suitable. Actually, we have different regions, geopolitical zones in Nigeria. For example, if you are from the Northwest, what type of breed is most suitable for farmers to make profit? If you are around North Central, Jos area and other things, what type of breed and all those things. So I think when we come to discussion, we'll do that. As I said, you have actually justice to these things. But Chief, I beg you, maybe when people are restocking around January ending or February, Dr. Yomi will need to come back and to tell us when you are buying point of lay, what are the things you look for?
Just like you said, this is an ongoing process.
Yes.
He has done justice to rearing to point of lay. And anybody who is buying point of lay, who is not monitoring the point of lay is buying from day to point of lay, will end up buying pigeon. I have, birds that has the size of. And now, more especially now, the cost of raw materials are so much and the roof. Some of those people who claim, unfortunately, we don't have a regulated industry, who claim that they are selling point of lay, knows they're not selling point of lay. You can even, what he's saying about buying birds at 13 weeks, I mean, it's even earlier to buy so that you can manage it to the point of lay. Most time when I buy point of lay, I buy it at 14 weeks. I have an experience here to share with one of the customers of Animal Care that bought, and we're accusing Animal Care of all manner of things until Animal Care, Abato himself sent them to me. And then I'll come back to you when I'm going to analyze. I'm just trying to just put what his lecture in proper perspective. He has done brilliantly. Because if you don't monitor your point of lay, just like I am saying, you'll get it wrong. Right from day one of getting the birds, and all these analysis has given. And if anything is lacking in the analysis is given, at the end, you are getting a wrong point of lay. That means you need to monitor the point of lay from day old chicks to the point you are buying. And then, another thing is the target weight he talked about. I'm going to deal with that because.
Yes, Chief.
Yeah, he said. So because because you don't have time, I will give you.
Your network is not very clear. Let me take it over before your network comes back.
I will respond to all.
So
I will respond.
Okay, yes. So as I said, Chief, I'll be leaving by 11 because of some programs I'm having.
No, no problem.
Let me welcome before I leave. Let me welcome Sam Etop. Sam Etop is a nutritionist with the Grand Street Limited. He has been there, but he left them many years ago. He's now with Ebonic Nigeria Limited, an international company. They are also dealing on nutritional products. Sam Etop, you are welcome. He's the former feed. In fact, all the feed that came from the Grand Cereal Limited, he's the man behind the scene. So Sam Etop is on this platform, and I think this is the first time he's joining. If I may be wrong, Sam Etop, you are welcome. I'm sure you are going to show more insight. And we have many others that some are regular, some are new to this platform. We already welcome Professor Lawal Saidu, and Professor Magaji is a public health expert. But fortunately for us, he is so much interested in poultry programs. Anytime we invited him, we send our invitation to him, he honors it. And I know his wife has some chickens that are not enough to cover a kitchen, but he always considers himself as a farmer. So by his wife extension.
Young shall grow. Don't worry, young shall grow.
So I believe Professor Magaji, you are welcome, please. And the others that are joining now and other things. So I thank you all. Dr.
Samuel
Yomi,
Letop should drop his number on the chat box. He can even private me with his number.
No, he's a very big man. I'm sure he will message you privately, maybe, because I am not sure whether this.
Let him message me privately, or you collect his number and give me, so that we will be inviting him when we have such. He can even talk
actually his company,
because we need resource persons outside the veterinary industry. That is somebody.
He's an animal scientist.
Yes, an animal scientist. Good. You see, the profession should co-linear. If you remember, when I was NVMA president, I invited Professor Njoko for our opening ceremony in Makurdi. I think he has sent it. Just a way of bringing us together, because we need ourselves for all these tractions of conflagrations. We don't need it now. The industry is suffering. So I will invite him to speak on poultry nutrition one day on this platform, and then a way of expanding and extending, if possible, a way of another round of initiating harmony between the professions, the two professions. This harmony doesn't take anybody anywhere. A house divided against itself cannot stand. Common enemy unite. Hunger is uniting everybody now. So at this stage in our life, where hunger is dealing with everybody, I don't think the room for conflagration now should be there.
Okay, thank you, Chief. The Senator has already dropped his number.
Yeah, he dropped his number.
So people that want to contact him, they're into poultry products business, especially nutritional products, probiotics, and all the rest. They're into it.
Good. So we will bring him here. We will bring him here.
Okay, yes, to showcase at this point, I'll hand over this thing. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So, are you going now? Prof?
Yes, I'm going, sir.
Okay. There's no problem. You have placeholders here. Even Kunla Biade is here. Though he's in canine medicine, but he's one of our good people that always come here when, if need be, when the need arises. We have catalogs of people here that help us to pull through. You see, we are not in silos. We cannot be individual isolate. And I fight it, and I said, if I plus it in Joku said it in our opening ceremony, that for how many, 48 years, they've not been invited. Now, they invited me actually, but since then, I'd rather kept crashing one after the other, body shoulder. I think part of the problem we have in this country is raising of shoulders. To people like us who have humble background, it doesn't make any meaning to us. So that is the thing. One thing he spoke about flock uniformity, and he dealt with that flock uniformity. If you are getting point of lay and the flocks are not uniform, forget it. Something is wrong. In fact, when I was a farmer, until bandits threw me away from my farm, sacked me from my farm, we weighed 3 times. We weighed 3 times. And then as we are weighing, we are getting those who have overshoot. There are some that overshoot, maybe because they are smart, eating more than the others, getting more than the others. We will have to bring them back. For those within the range, They have to keep them, and those below the range, the target weight range, we isolate them, compact them, feed them with even some. Normally we feed with broiler finisher so that they can come up, and once they come up, we throw them back because you want to attain that flock to uniformity. Whereby once they start within 1 week, they've attained 90%. There was a farmer who bought at 14 weeks. Sorry, I bought at 14 weeks. He bought at 15 weeks. The same stock, the same place, the same batch from animal care. One day, Dr. Abato called me and said, look at what's going on. They're being accused of collecting wrong point of lay. So that's another thing. If you are looking for problem outside your place, not clearing the problem in your place as a farmer, that problem remains with you. Let us get this thing clear. So he was accusing them, and then Abato said, you got birds from, the only thing you got at a different age, the same batch. What is happening? I said, my birds are doing well. As of now, we're getting 85%. They said, these people, their own have not started laying. I said, bring them to me. When the young man, this is a point to know for farmers. When the young man, the farm manager came, I asked him one question. What is the weight of your birds? He said he's not weighing the birds. Who are you, please, to this man? What experience have you to manage a farm at Airport Road in Kaduna, a laying farm owned by a custom officer? He said he was selling cars, and the owner switched him into managing the farm. I said, I just want to see the owner. And thank God, the day the owner came, Dr. Tukor, who was the Kaduna State Civil Service, was in my house when he came. And then when the first man came, the farm, Vetco is my witness, was behind my house in Angwarami GRA. He saw my worker packing out eggs. Meanwhile, his own has not started laying. So when the owner came, me and Dr. Tukor, we told him the truth. This thing has formula. If you go against the formula, you run into problems. So don't sometimes actually, you might be giving wrong point of lay. But if you are giving the right point of lay, what do you do from there? It's inside in front of you. It counts a lot. Okay. You will continue from here to take on some of these comments. Olanipekun. Take on some of these comments. Yes, we'll allow Said Ulawa to talk. We will allow Etop to talk, and then because here we're so natural because we want the mind of a people. Okay, continue. Olanipekun.
Okay, if you have wrongly taken a point of lay, usually there are point of cages. I did mention point of cages. They are from week 10 actually, week 10, 12, 14. And most times, people opt to dispose their bird at this age of 12, 14, 15, and not point of lay again. Those ones are point of cages. So when you pick them up at that point in time, you need to weigh at exactly week 12. Point of cage must give you 1 kg, 1.00 kg. If you check it out and it's giving you lesser, if it is not too less, at least if it is not lesser by up to 150, 200, if it is lesser by just between 50 and 100, it is manageable. At week 14, it should give you there about 1.2. At exactly week 16, that we call point of lay proper, this boss should be giving you there about 1.3, 1.350. So now, if you are picked them, and as a matter of fact, they are giving you just 126, 127, what you need to do is to check and see what the precise grammage allocation they are giving them from where they are coming from and where you have to continue. At week 16, birds are to be given there about 75 grams, and it should be evenly distributed to all birds. You check for their debeaking. If the birds are not properly debeaked, they won't have good grip on feed, and that normally affects weight gain, and it affects uniformity as well. So At least while picking up this bird, I have, given out all the details, the tips that I need to check for on those birds if you are satisfied. But the last of it is you check, you test weigh them and see this body weight. Number two, look at these birds closely and see that there are signs of maturity. The comb, at least, should be prominent, bright, watu, brightly colored. These are signs of maturity in point of lay. So when these ones are seen, when you take birds to your farm, welcome them appropriately with electrolytes and multivitamin. When they are well stable, from where they stop there is where you start. Vaccination protocol, vaccination schedule is completely dependent upon the location. If coryza is your challenge at your end, that there is no point in time you won't experience coryza, when the implication is that you ought to have taken your birds at point of cage so that you prevent before it gets, and you prevent before they will be exposed. Whatever the challenges you are facing at your end should be your priority. And that was why I just gave out all the tips you look into before you pick up this point of lay. I now dwelled seriously and so much on how to raise the birds from day old to point of lay. However, if you have taken your point of lay, simply because you want quick return, they need proper attention as well. You adapt them appropriately to the environment they meet themselves. And you do appropriate feed allocation, because feed type matters, feeding matters. Avoid feed wastage. And you do regular weight checking until these birds start laying. By the time on arrival, after a week, you test weight up to 5%. Subsequently, you'll be reducing the percentage that you'll be test weighing to minimize stress, because thereabout they are approaching to lay.
Let me take you on. Let me take you on here. You are please let everybody know that he's discussing about the brown breed called Asa Brown.
Yes.
Please. Every breeder has its specifications. For black breed, heavy black breed, heavy brown breed, heavy white breed, most white breeds, most light breeds are white, light breeds. So please don't complicate yourself by taking what he's saying, hook, line, and sinker. There is there is breeders breeders catalog.
Specifications.
Yes.
Specifications.
Breeders catalog where the specifications are there. Like Idris Madaki is asking, what is the point of caging? That the reference point is judgmental. Judgmental in the sense it depends on the breed of the birds you are monkeying with. If you take breed A and juxtapose it with breed B, you are going to have a lot of problems. So take the breeder specifications, either from the commercial raisers or from you who is raising on yourself, because now we are dealing with raising from day old to point of lay, and from point of lay and above, we're able to shoot beyond, which is good, natural, better for knowledge. So if you're dealing with the black breed will not give you what he's saying. I'm telling you what you say, you are out of the picture. Then the white breed, there's white heavy layers. Will not to talk about the lighter ones. I've monkeyed with lighter ones when we are producing white birds for ShopRite. That one is a different kettle of fish altogether. So let us really take note of that any breed you are dealing with, first, we have Asa Brown, we have Loman Brown. These are brown birds, but agreed.
Highline Brown.
Eh?
Highline Brown as well.
Yes, Highline Brown. Yeah, but they are from Red Island roots. I think they originated from, all of them originated from Red Island roots. I have handled 2 batches of Lowman Brown at parent stock level. So if people like us are talking, we're talking from some measure of experience we got. Again, we made some mistakes, we corrected them, we're able to build. That's why experience is good. You better have the experience rather than not even having it at all. So that is it. And when he was talking about his bringing from CHI, he's bringing another value chain, the upper value chain of, which is the parent stock. So I mean, there's no point of lay for parent stock. You must have from day one. That's why he was using it. And I don't know whether they are doing the point of lay in their farm, whether they have commercial layers in their farm. Some of these breeders now, they have commercial layers, they have point of lay, they have AOT. So he's trying to mix up his experience. Look at he's saying he has. So that's the thing. And then the bed trim, he mentioned something about trimming. Once we got our point of lay that was not trimmed well and we overlooked it, by the time cannibalism came, when they start laying in the cages, it was really tough. And we went to trim them, and we lost 3 weeks weight backward. We lost 3 weeks because one, it's not like somebody has cut his fingers and then you want to use that finger to scratch. You know how it numb your finger is. And that's not how numb their beaks were when after debeaking, even with some of them are bloody at that age. And then at the end of that, they were not picking much of the feed. And then we said, come and see calcium deficiency. Come and see shareless. This one is not that, you see, when you talk about shareless, not partial shareless, it is total shareless. Egg inside the bag. Yeah?
Yes,
egg.
Robert egg.
Thank you. So, these experiences we picked up along the line. So make sure, and there's some of all these birds, that there are some of these birds that were not improperly trimmed. Some of them grow back again. Because if you don't cauterize the baseline, it will grow back again. So it's as good as you are not even debeaked. So these are the things, when you're accepting your point of look at the debeaking. This is going you're going to deal with now, sir. Olanipekun. What makes a beak debeaking? Now, what makes a bird debeaked? It is not when you do this infrared or ultraviolet or whatever that is. No, you must do it, or blade. You must do it properly. What can a farmer see in the beak of a bird and say, you can even item and say that this bird is not over debeaked, is properly debeaked, and not under debeaked.
Okay.
Or this bird is under debeaked, over debeaked, and then properly debeaked. Please, can you in stanza itemize this? Because you have the lower beak and the upper beak.
Yes.
Which one is more necessary that you don't even touch? When you are touching it, you touch it partially.
Okay. You
so
see,
that we can.
Okay. The one they do at archery level is just the sharp tip of the cheeks beak to be removed. That's all. Just touching. That one they call it light trimming. Now, the one we are talking about starts from the age of between 8th and 10th week. And those ones, they are real debeaking. If you want to cut, it is the upper beak. It is the upper beak you touch deeper than the lower beak to give you a kind of, just like V. That upper one will be deeper, bringing the lower one a bit outer, so that when you use the lower one to pick feed, it will use the upper one to grab it and swallow. Most times, the illustration we give is we use our first finger on top of the thumb and withdraw that first finger a little so that the thumb will be a bit outside. But people make mistake of cutting close to the nostrils, making mess of the whole thing. Recently, Professor Junaid contracted me to get him point of lay. The ones twice when I got, the digging was too deep that they will hardly meet up to produce when they get there. And the man will not appreciate it when they couldn't lay in time. So it is that upper one they use to cannibalize. It is that upper one that they use to break eggs and be sucking it up. So that upper one is major point of reference. They should be touched in a way that they will be a bit shorter to the lower one. But that lower one should not be allowed to shoot out too much so that it will not constitute a problem for the boss to pick, while the upper one will be used, to grab.
Yeah. You've done and farmers, please. I am now talking not as a farmer. I am talking as a vet. And with strong emphasis in disease prevention. Train your in-house debiggers, if possible. Now you've selected the point of lay. If you are rearing your birds and you want to do what he is doing, not inviting people outside who do not know their left and right, who can debug, who will introduce diseases in your farm. If you are and the day he spoke about biosecurity protocol, he spoke that human beings can bring in disease from one farm to the other. And then you are engaging somebody who are from outside, who is moving from one farm without disinfecting himself, without bathing, without adequate biosecurity protocol. And the person is coming to your farm to vaccinate. Even the equipment, if it properly managed, can give you disease. So you have to be very, very careful. Or the best is have your own debugging machine, have your debugging set, go and train your boys or your managers, inoculators in your farm, the way they are trained to inoculate under supervision, on how to debug with strong emphasis on all these principles he just laid down. So continue, Olanipekun, please.
Okay.
I'm just trying to top, as a farmer, as a vet, I'm trying to top up.
So, choosing right or good quality point of lay starts from, knowing what the source of bird is, what the breed. I've mentioned that it's your breed, the breed of your own desire. And if you have chosen the breed of desire, specifications are made considering this breed type, which will give you a guide on age specifications and the feed allocation at different age of birth. After those ones, whatever the challenge at your end that you need to prevent, as a disease, which is actually a factor you consider to design a vaccination schedule in an area, whatever is it that is your own challenge, you should be ready to prevent it.
Who is Bernard Resources? Please afford us this convenience, please. Continue.
So from there, you design a suitable schedule of vaccination to continue from where you pick the balls. If you have chosen, most times it is advisable to even pick these birds earlier than they call it point of lay, like week 12, week 14, so that whatever the vaccination that is required will be properly monitored by you. Whatever the exercise that have not been completed will be done by you. Where they are having body weight laxity, you can even, do your sorting and arrange boards according to the, weight. From there, you perfect the uniformity if they have not completely perfected, because oftentimes when you request for bed, it may not be what you have bargained for and what is left for you to do is to perfect it. You can't send it back. So at that point in time, you follow specifically what the feed allocation should be. If it is 5 or 6 gram, addition on weekly basis, you follow it judiciously so that you attain your own point of lay status at the desired time when your birth now starts dropping.
Yeah. Thank you. And another thing I want to top up here on this, he has mentioned several times of target weight. If your target weight of egg production is 1.8 to some heavy breed, or 1.9, they can start from 1.5 or to 1.6 when they start laying peewee eggs. If your point of lay for that breed is around 1.6, the only thing you can do to hasten up is that maybe around 1.4. But if that 1.2, 1.1, 1, 0.9, in fact, if it's at that level, you have to work extraordinary. If the percentage is small, please go and sell those bets. Because you will work and work and work to bring them from 0.9 kg to 1.6. It's a very tough exercise. You can do it, but they'll start laying at 40 weeks when you have done a lot of work on them. That your point of lay, agreed, if you are taking birds from Ibadan to Sokoto, is going to lose around 100 grams in transit because they're not feeding, they're not drinking, they're not doing this. They are packed inside their cages or whatever. They are packed, yes, into their boxes or what have you. That they definitely they will drop. Most times they drop around 100 grams, which you can easily beef up. But if in the process you have 400 grams to work on to get to your point or target weight, actually based on the heavy breed, not any other, based on the heavy breed, I'm just using, our standard here is the heavy Issa brown breed, which we have all over the country. Now, almost all over the country. Not talking about the white breed, heavy breed, because everyone has its own specifications. So that's make sure your target weight. And he mentioned something. Once you have your target weight, because they have the same genetic potentials, the same gene to lay inside them, once they will start, all of them will follow within 1 week. But if you have one egg today, 10 eggs tomorrow, half egg next tomorrow, shellless egg, you didn't do anything. So at that point, you need to start working on your nutrition, working on your management, working on a lot of strategies to bring them up so that they can pick up. Because the more they feed now the feeds are very expensive. The more they're feeding, they are losing. So you can continue. Let me look for another thing I dropped before. Yeah, you can continue. If there's from at this time now, if there's anybody that wants to pass a comment, should raise his hand. So that we'll deal with it. Yeah.
Questions?
But
Comment,
before
questions?
them, Lawa Seidu, who will speak next week on Hamatan-borne diseases of poultry. Let's unmute him if there's anything he has to tell us based on what he has observed as a professor of poultry medicine. Now we can give him back his accolade because we told him that he's a student we have de-professored him. And then I use one example when we were coppers in Zaria, when the WO2 told us when he was addressing us that he knows that we have degree, we come with bukuru, but once we enter here, you pocket your bukuru because the only language here is Ajewaya. It's Ajewaya. So now we de-professored him. Now he's now back as a professor. So you can speak, sir. Now I say put on your video. Put on your video. Yes.
Chief, are you?
I'm with you, but put your video. I'm not with you until you put on your video.
Chief.
Yes.
Are you seeing me?
I'm not seeing you.
Okay.
Are you driving. You are driving with one of your sons.
I enjoyed the presentation. The doctor has tried very well, and I have learned a lot. But my major problem with his presentation is he was talking about raising pullets with starter. And as much as possible, we want to reduce the cost of production. And the starter is more expensive than the chick mash we know. If it is any development in poultry industry, fine. But otherwise, it will make production very, very expensive. And under this condition, it may force most people out of business. Uh, Two, sir, he is emphasizing the beacon and the concept. There is a lot of emphasis now on animal welfare, and one of the things people are frowning at is the beacon. Is there no any other way we can control cannibalism and feed wastage, egg eating, egg breaking without necessarily debeaking the beacon, the boss? Three, sometimes we were buying some chicks from you, this Lohoma Brown. Fortunately, they are very good layers. But unfortunately, the breed has suddenly disappeared in Nigeria. If it is available, we would like to, to be buying that breed because they will lay egg, and give you money as if you are stealing the money. So,
did you buy it from me or did you buy it from Yankee Farms?
No, from you. You
Okay,
remember?
good.
Yes, you were watching the home around.
Yes,
And
yes.
we from your end.
Yes,
Three,
yes.
four, sir. One of the major problems we have with point of the major problem is most of them you pick them, they are underweight because the producer want to maximize profit. Two, you don't know the vaccination history. There, they also some of them keep a lot of vaccines, and at the farm you have to like start all over, all over, all over.
Yeah.
Sir,
I
I
don't
want
know what
to.
this is, particularly the undertaking of the and then okay, good to go on. Thank you, sir. We'll meet next week. Chief.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me answer him. Let me answer
Okay.
him. I imported the parent stock brown Loman Brown Classic around 2004 or 2003. Managed them perfectly. They were laying. They were so hardy a breed. From a day old, they rarely die. But unfortunately, the second batch, they said they banned the importation of, politically banned importation of day-old chicks because of avian influenza that has not even arrived. Because they want their own breed to sell. At that time, the president of the country is a farmer. A lot of things that I don't, somebody like me, I brought in the hatchable eggs, and then in the second batch, by the third batch, I didn't even enjoy the breed anymore. A lot of things happened. I said, I'm not part of any business I'm doing into controversy. I stopped. And then, I don't have hatchery. I was using near farms hatchery originally. They had the issue of light, they had the issue of their generator, they have it of this, the that is not managed by my company. I moved to Kaduna hatchery, the same thing. I said, all I did was to pick up my birds, commercial layers from the last batch I brought into the country through the point of lay, through the hatchable eggs, and then and from there I entered into commercial layers till late when the bandits pursued me. Because my people will tell you it's only a tree that know that you cut it or hurt it and it will stay. If it is animal, it will run away. So by the time they kidnap one person, kidnap another person, kill another person within that vicinity, I think the pointer to me is that this is no more my business anymore. So that is it. Anyway, that's my story, my history, my chemistry, my stoichiometry in poetry. But it's okay. But I thank God I did poetry at that level. It taught me a lot of lessons that I can confidently discuss poetry. Honestly, confidently and discuss poetry. But that is not even issue. Thank you very, very much. And there is no alternative pathway to debeaking. If you don't debeak, these birds will finish. They will want they don't hate themselves. It's only when they are angry, the salt level is not there. There's a lot of issues around them. The weather is not conducive. They must beg. And once they see blood, ask ladies that enter poultry farm with their cortex on their leg. When they see anything red, they are so attracted to it. Once these ladies, when they enter, ask them, the owners or the workers, what the experience on these birds. There is no alternative to it. But the prof, now you're a prophet. If you have any alternative, you can tell us. But Olanipekun, I think that's what Olanipekun would tell us. So, but Olanipekun, if you have any alternative, you can tell us. That's as far as I know.
Okay.
But if anytime I'm going back into hatching, I'll use Loman Brown, to be frank with you. I'm in touch with them. They're in Tanzania. Their manager has been talking to me, Loyola, on how to come back because these people were using them. Agritech were using them. They threw away Agritech. That's another thing. Not Olam came and threw them away, so they don't have business again in Nigeria. They want to come back, actually. So, Yamfi, if you want to come back, I can link you up with them. Hello?
So, the beaking. The beaking for now has no alternative, but what can be done? If there are just few ones cannibalizing, you can sort them and separate. If there are few, but if it's a general thing, there is no alternative than to debeak them. After all, this we are doing to them is lesser and harm to what they are doing to themselves.
And to the economy.
Yes. Yes. So the starter he talked about, the choices are always there. Chick starter is good, but I'm specifying that crumb, will allow you to have early weight gain. Yes. Yes. So, and why we are emphasizing this is that Gumboro disease is the most challenging, and it's a disease of lightweight birds. If your balls have met up with good body weight from the beginning, I think they will escape considering their body weight. And this crumb gives them that early weight gain faster. You can start with them. By the time you see they are meeting up, gradually switch to what meets your standard. So, about vaccination, that can be erratic from where they are coming from. I mentioned among that tips that we can request for the records. Request for the records and see what have been done. If they're okay by you, you have that choice. If they are not okay, you tell them you get back to them. And you don't get back to them again since they are not, of satisfied standard that you desire. Thank you.
Yeah. Let's bring Samuel up, please. I want him to address us from all we have been saying, maybe from nutritional point of view or from any other experience point of view apart from nutrition. Samuel up, please. We have a conventional code here that we want to see your face so that we know we are dealing with human beings. So Samuel up. Thank you. He has even started showing his face. So please, Samuel up, unmute yourself.
Okay.
And yes, good. With your honey daughter.
I'm very happy to be here. Thank you very much. I've been around in the industry.
Is she your only daughter? Is she your only daughter?
No, she's my second daughter.
Because my only daughter is doing the same thing to me.
Okay. this is my second daughter.
Maybe you get another daughter so that she will run away.
Tell Uncle good morning. Tell Uncle good morning.
So Eto, try to get another daughter to displace this one. Thank you very much. Okay.
I'll try. Thank you very much for having me. I'm happy that Professor Musa Usman introduced me to this group. We have worked together when he was at NVRI, and I was at Grand Series. We ran a lot of experiments together that were, bringing out those feet that Grand Series was selling them. And in 2021, I moved to Evonik. Evonik is basically in the industry of supporting the feed millers nutrition, as it were. But Evonik generally is a chemical company. It's into almost everything that has to do with life, chemical, toothpaste, and all of those things, even glass and all of that. But I'm in the animal nutrition and care business line. So basically, we do amino acids, methionine, lysine, and the rest, and then the probiotics, EcoBile, and some other new products that are coming. Okay, it's okay. Uncle has already seen you. This lecture today is loaded and very, very well articulated. It's more like a practical hand-holding for poultry managers, and I hope what is presented will be also arranged maybe in a readable or handbook for the farm managers. I appreciate what the presenter is doing. But I would also quickly want to add, today, what Evonik is emphasizing, we're also trying to work with the Nigerian Institute of Animal Science and other stakeholders to see how we can move Nigeria from absolute belief, even our feed standard, moving away from approximate analysis, crude protein, okay, those things are important. If we manage the nutrition aspect of the feed from the point of a digestible amino acids, then the struggle between whether to use starter or chip to start the pullet will not arise, because the important thing will be to formulate to balance the amino acid requirement. And once you do that, crude protein is not relevant, so to speak. So I will stop here. I'm happy to be in this group. And then I think I want to, like you said, sir, working in silos is not the best thing to do. I think we should collaborate, share knowledge, and then they move the industry forward. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I want to say it again and again and again. I was the 12th national president, Nigerian Veterinary Medical Association. For the first time, I invited Professor Placid Njoko when he was president of NIAS, and later he became deputy governor of Anambra, Imo State. To come and at our opening ceremony. He was addressing us well, and instead of, at the end of the day, he was asking why should vets know about management, poultry management. It was led for animal science. I know the backlash I got from there, but I don't care for my colleagues. I don't care. And they invited me again to their feed meal project in Ibadan, at Jogo Center. I went, spoke nicely, because I am happy you are discussing about the Evonik and the amino acids. You forgot that we all watch German League. So whenever you are telling us about Evonik, you know where I'm heading to. Is it German League?
Dortmund, yes.
I know where we're. So you don't need to paint paint more, because some of us are highly versatile. In the conference in Ibadan, there's Professor Ogundipe Senior. They are saying that for the first time they are bringing vets and blah blah blah. They were quarreling. Then I asked them, I've never separated quarrel between Professor Ogundipe Senior, he's a professor of animal science, and Professor Ogundipe Junior, he's a professor of veterinary medicine. That if mother has never called me, their late mom, when she was alive, had never called me to come and separate quarrel between two of them, because they are in opposite
profession.
I told Professor Ogundipe Senior, who was there, and told him, please, sir, you took methionine and lysine that's supposed to be 99.8% to the lab. What did you get? He said 5%. He said 5%. And these are the company that brought it are the company that brought it is a foreign company. I don't want to who imports.
I know. I know them.
Who
I have had
import,
that.
I'm coming. Who imports? The company imports what you call generating sets into the country. Then I told you when you were doubting yourself, you sent a master's degree student you were supervising. What percentage did you get? He said 5%. I said, you people are seeing me. This foreign company will kill your industry and run away. And we will remain here fighting ourselves. We are still here fighting ourselves. At Jogo Center, and I'm a very classical human being, the way I discuss. I talk practical. I said, sir, stand up. He stood up. I asked him, ask your colleagues in Ibadan. He got 5%, and you know who the company I'm talking about. You know. Don't tell me you don't know. If you tell me you don't know them, I will doubt all these your credentials you real there. No, these are the things we are getting when we conflagrate. And I always say it everywhere I go. The country now should unite against common enemy, which is hunger. There's no more middle class again. It's wiped off.
Wiped out, yes, sir.
It's wiped with foreign exchange and with cost of fuel. That's the only thing too. These are only economic tools that did. When not, and the other tools are upcoming. We should all sit down and work out with this new Ministry of Livestock. And the statement Plus Njoku is making, and he's a member of that committee, and we are reading those statements. It's not good. This is time for introspection, not to be. It's easier to bend forward than to bend backward.
Yeah.
Anything that is in the backward, let's put it behind to face our tomorrow. Vets can't do it alone. Animal scientists can't do it alone. Dairy alone can make every animal science and veterinary doctor millionaire in this country. Dairy alone. I'm not talking about. I'm dairy alone. 100% of egg powder. Indirect demand of egg in this country is coming from outside. And in most cases, the value chain that gives you money, indirect demand that gives you money.
Yeah.
So that you don't carry your egg in the head and be saying, knocking your bell and buy egg. So these are things we should put in place, how we can develop a very strong value chain so that all of us will be enjoying this business and not to be fighting piecemeal. People like me at 63 have retired. I'm telling you the truth. There's no worse period I've not gone through, including unemployment, downtrodden, proliferate. But you see, it's not those states.
Nobody is an island. So
yes, thank you. So I thank you. And then for those people are looking for the slide, I'm going to post our YouTube channel. It is everything there is in YouTube channel. I'm going to post it now. Please, as you do, this is a content-based YouTube-driven program. We need you to expand the algorithm to other spaces. And the only way it can help us to make our content pristine is to click the subscription and notification button. Notification button will make you to come up again if another topic of this stance is being presented. The subscription button will help us to drag us further and make us look good in the Google map. So that is it. So and then
that's Bluebird TV.
Yeah, Bluebird TV. But I'm going to send you. Just a minute. I'm going to send you the link of the Bluebird TV right now. You can put Bluebird TV. You get there. Some people are even watching us from the YouTube now. Yes.
Excellent.
So that is it. So please, everything is there, and we have a lot of program on this. He has spoken on flock uniformity. We have spoken of Gomboro disease.
The link is
we have spoken
here.
about Gomboro disease in advanced age, which is out of textbook. Most of the things we speak here, most of them are out of textbook, but they're real and correct. Textbook cannot capture everything.
everything. This I
can
know.
capture everything. There's nothing, no more research. There won't
Yes.
there won't be any research. So we are up and doing. I have just sent the YouTube channel, but
I've seen it.
yeah, and then but you can go to Bluebird TV, just like you say, Blue Space TV, and get most of these things. But subscribe to our button, then send it to other platforms.
Platforms,
So that
all right.
you go viral. But we will invite you one day to discuss poultry nutrition for us.
No problems as we progress. Yeah.
Yes, please. So that's it. So some people are packing placebo and naming it veterinary medicine. Are packing placebo, calling it amino acid. So we know about Borussia Dortmund. So for us to tell you about Borussia Dortmund, those that you know.
Yes. Yes.
For us to
Thank you very much.
So know that we think beyond what you think we are.
Yes. Yeah.
So
thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very
Good to be
much.
here.
And it's nice. We're happy you are in our midst. Oh.
Yes. Thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Madaki is here. Who wants to give us another talk? Is there any other thing? There's one Teresa Umeji. I believe she's Teresa Umeji. Can you unmute yourselves, ma?
Yes, sir. Good afternoon, sir.
Are you from Unobi?
Yes, sir. I'm married to Nobi. Yes, sir.
You are married to Professor Umeji's son?
Yes, sir. Yes.
The geologist. The geologist.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
Okay, can you drop your number? Late Professor Umeji was my father's classmate at Furabe College.
Are you serious?
Yes, with the former governor of Benue State, Apollo Sako. Anyway, that's it. So can I have your number? Where are you based? At Inobi. They have poetry in Inobi a lot. Are you at Inobi?
No, I'm in Port Harcourt.
Okay.
Incidentally, I was the one that spoke during the Congress concerning our feud with the pharmacy, vet pharmacy.
Oh, you're a vet colleague. Okay. You see? Anyway, I made you happy. Can you send me your number? Inbox me your number, please.
Okay, I'll do that, sir. Thank you,
right
sir.
now.
Let me do it right away, sir.
Do it right away. Yes.
Okay, sir.
So you can talk to us, eh? You can see we are versatile. We know you down to your roots.
I can see, sir.
Yeah, Professor Meji started with botany and ended up with geology.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So anything, can you be talking and be saying what you want to say?
Actually, my network had been so erratic. What I was trying to fall back to is to go back to the YouTube channel. Actually, I went for meat inspection at the way the network was fluctuating off and on. At a point, it went off entirely. But I joined again, so I missed virtually most of the parts. But I know as I'm going to watch the YouTube, I'll get much from it, sir.
Okay.
So, okay, sir. I don't really have, but the presenter really did a good work. The ones I listened to, anybody down to the basics that anybody can follow. He cut across all the audience, both professionals, lay persons, investors, so that the whole thing. He did a fantastic job, sir. Well, kudos to you people. The resource person was very okay, sir.
Okay. Now, thank you, madam. We will expect you here next weekend when we deal, because you see, our topics are tangential to the environment, to what is happening to the environment.
I've seen it.
I've seen it. We are heading towards. So somebody is echoing. We are heading towards Harmattan, and we want to deal with Harmattan-borne diseases. And Professor Saidulawa we'll deal with that next weekend. By this time, next Saturday, he'll be rounding up. We're about to actually round up. If there's anybody that has anything to say, please let him say it. 5, 6. So if there's anybody that can contribute, put an addition, add value to our existence today, because knowledge is knowledge. You can't tear away from knowledge. And I'll advise those poultry farmers here, anywhere there's knowledge, go. You must learn something. You will contribute something. And the contribution you've made, somebody can pick it up, pieces it, reassemble it, and make it a better knowledge, and for you to enjoy later. There is nothing good. It's terrible for one to be in silo. I say it, and there's Louisa Tama here. Is it from Cameroon? Hello? Dr. Louisa Tama. Are you from Cameroon? Are you related to Dr. Tama John? Dr. Louisa Tama. That is a Cameroonian name. 361. So anyway, that's it. I think we should be rounding up by now. In absence of people are not contributing anymore. I think we've come to fatigue level, and we will. Olanipekun, let's see. So that's good. Bolaho Oladosu is here with us. We have some our good heads here. Bola Oladosu is here, a fish expert.
Good afternoon, Chief.
Good afternoon, my brother. He was on this platform for fish medicine. You will need to go to YouTube, the YouTube channel, and see his excellent topic, pristine topic, unadulterated topic, undiluted topic on how to handle fish diseases, fish medicine, and then we have who again? Dr. Abiade is there. Then Professor Magaji, a member of the Veterinary Council of Nigeria, is here, my friend. When he has run away, he has run away. I would have drawn his legs. He knows where I will be heading to. So that's it. So I think we will almost call it a day.
Are you through with the class?
If there's any other question, we will trash it. But be it as it may, if we don't trash any question today very well, be rest assured that in our subsequent program, we are going to trash them whole and the entire. That's why that's good in continuity. Thank you, every person, for being part of us. Samuel Letop, thank you very much. One day, you have seen the way we are. Ilya Goodness, America, thank you very much. You're clapping very well. So, Samuel Letop, you've seen the way we operate here. We dish out our knowledge, and then people will enjoy our knowledge. They will pieces it and come back again and give you better knowledge from your own knowledge, so that you continue to be on upscale in your ride towards knowledge stardom. Thank you, everybody. And then at this stage, I think we'll wire out those in. Okay, you are clapping your hand too. I didn't run away, but just had a phone call. Okay, Idris Madaki, you're welcome all the way from Yobe. You're welcome. Thanks for the effort. Take a look. Thank you. Sam's at this point, I thank Olanipekun, our guest speaker. Olanipekun, you have over 20 lectures next year. I'm programming them. So this is the end, but it's just the beginning. That's Bob Marley. I've seen the permanent secretary, Dr. Peter Sajie, is here in Edo. I don't know whether he survived the storm in the pit trail with Oshomole in did you survive it? Unmute yourself. Did you survive the storm? Are you an ex?
There's no storm.
Okay.
If there's no storm, we are the ones, sir.
Are you back to your clinic, or are you still a permanent secretary?
I'm still a permanent secretary, sir.
Okay, that's okay.
I'll be a permanent secretary for a very long time, sir.
Okay, that's
Thank
okay.
you very much.
You're welcome. All the
Thank
way
you.
from Benin in Nigeria.
Thank you.
Well, we've seen lots of people, and then my brother and my in-law Ata Samson Agbese is marrying to Isidoma, marrying Igbo and marrying my sister. So I've conscripted him. He will never say no. And the day he will say no, I'll collect my sister from him. That's the thing. So he knows he will never. Anytime I call him, he will be up and doing. Once I place my sister as a bet, he will obey. So his obedience is better than sacrifice. And we have Abdullahi Muhammad, sir. You're welcome, sir. I've mentioned Louis Tama. Are you from Cameroon? Unmute yourself. Sister Louis Tama, are you from Cameroon? Unmute yourself now. If you don't know, your children can do it for you. That's what the world we are today. We are children are our teachers. That's where we find ourselves. We cannot unmute yourself. Okay. It looks like she's not. Then Ikemefuna. This is your first time. Elia Goodness, thank you. Well, at this stretch, I think we should call it a day. And then another day is another day. So thank you very much for coming, and thank you for being part of us. We are calling you again. We